Good afternoon. Welcome back to Three of Swords Gaming. I'm going to do another Guild Wars 2 new player guide. Not something terribly complex that I'm going to cover today, but it is something that I have referenced several times within some other videos, and I've not actually taken the time to do a quick walkthrough on. This is very elementary. Most players are probably going to figure this out through for themselves because they're probably going to be engaging with it relatively early on, but we're going to cover it anyway, and that thing is the Wizard's Vault. So what is the Wizard's Vault? Well, the Wizard's Vault was introduced by ArenaNet to replace login rewards. I think that they assessed, and rightfully so, that a lot of players were not using login rewards as a way to engage with the game. They would log into an account, collect those rewards, and log out for long periods of time between content releases, and they wanted to promote actually engaging with the game. So if you come up here, or you can push Shift H if you want, but I click on things, so here we go. We'll click on it. Then you'll see here we have the Wizard's Vault. So I want to cover a few key things. I don't want to really deep dive this because, again, it's pretty intuitive and most players are going to be engaging with it. So one, what do we do? Well, instead of logging in, you do get 5 Astral Acclaim, which is the little currency that this works off of, which I mentioned in my wallet video. 5 Astral Acclaim just for logging in, but then you can get a lot more with a few other options here. Now, if you look at mine, you will see that we have PvE options right now. We can do an event in a place, we can dodge some enemies, we can kill some enemies, gather some resources, basic PvE things. This is not terribly in-depth. There are more in-depth things here in the weeklies, which also offer significantly better rewards, where this chest will give you 450 Astral Acclaim, and each of these is 50, versus the 10 and 20 Astral Acclaim for the chest. So a noticeable difference, but on a day-to-day basis, very easy stuff to engage with, very little time. If you are not a PvE player, you can switch it to PvP or World vs. World. So select your game mode, roll with that, go after a few of these things each day. Very quickly your Astral Acclaim is going to pile up, right? If you really want some of the things that are offered here, for example, I still need to roll around on this account and get Ascended Armor and Ascended Weapons, which I should do, right? So 2 pieces of Ascended Armor. There you go. That is the benefit of the Wizard's Vault. Now I'm real low on Astral Acclaim. So let's get some more real quick. This is kind of what I wanted to demonstrate, is the ease with which we can grab some things. So generally, in weekly, you're going to have a jumping puzzle as one of the things. That is like 50 easy Astral Acclaim. Most of the jumping puzzles are very easy, and oftentimes there will be folks helping. One of them is guaranteed to be Praxis every single time. I guess that's their thing. They always have an account logged in at the weekly jumping puzzle, so you can always teleport friend to them if you have teleport friends. Or you can do the jumping puzzle. In this week's that Pig Iron Mine jumping puzzle, pretty easy, right? So there's 50 Astral Acclaim that we could get right there, except that I already got it this week. But we can do some dodge rolls and loot some enemies exceptionally quickly. So why don't we do that real fast, just to kind of drive the point home. Oh, this is currently controlled by friends. Okay, well then we'll go find enemies elsewhere. There's one dodge.
Time to do some real damage.
Whoop. I think I mistimed my dodge a little bit. Oh, bad dodging.
I like places.
We're probably going to get the... oh, did I already get the dodges? Oh, I did. I must have got multiple dodges in that one successful dodge roll. Cool. Oh, that's one of the harvesting materials. That's good for today, too. Alright, so I should, finish addressing the things I want to address while we're going through this. Super easy. Not time consuming at all.
Time to do some real damage.
Every game mode, super accessible. Great way to generate gold. Great way to gear your characters. You know, just a moment ago I grabbed 2 pieces of Ascended Armor
Hurts, doesn't it?
for the low price of 800 Astral Acclaim. Like, you can't really beat that, right? Man, that's it. It took less time to explain the Wizard's Vault. Oh, also, great way to get a whole bunch of skins that otherwise might not be accessible. So you can see all sorts of skin options here. And those stick around. This is the historical portion. Those stick around long after. So I can go all the way back to Secrets of the Obscure and get these skins, if that's something that I want. So definitely another thing available to you. Also,
Trying to do some
content.
real damage.
So let's say you only have Heart of Thorns. If you only have Heart of Thorns, it's not going to give you tasks from Secrets of the Obscure or something like that. If you have all the content, then it's going to give you tasks for all the content. However, it's not going to make a distinction between what content you do or do not want to play. So in other words, if you are playing through the entire story in sequence, which is a great experience. It's fun. Strongly recommend it. The one thing I would recommend, which I made a quick PSA about a moment ago, is please skip Season 1. At least till you get much further into the game. But you're playing through the content, and you have purchased Heart of Thorns or Path of Fire, what will you, but you're not yet playing them. The game has no way of knowing that. It is going to give you daily tasks potentially associated with that content. And you're just going to have to deal with the fact that either you're not
Trying to
getting
do
that
some real damage.
that day, or what I actually recommend, and I recommend this for a lot of reasons, is that if you want to play through the story and get the full experience and everything, you can have a character that might ultimately one day be your main, and that's your story character as well, and you're progressing through the story with that character, but that you at least access Heart of Thorns for a few minutes to get basic lighting, and at least access Path of Fire for
Time to do some real
literally like 30 minutes to permanently unlock Raptor, and then you can return to doing your things. That would be my personal recommendation. And then that would also give you a character that can access those parts of the world for very simple things like viewing a vista or doing a single event. I can't think of a reason why someone wouldn't want to do that.
Trying to do some real damage.
Players are often told by other players not to do that for fear of like spoiling the initial story instance that leads into an expansion. For me, that's a little bit silly. You have an entire expansion. I don't think spoiling the introductory sequence is a game breaker in that regard.
Time
Alright,
to do some
I think
real
that's everything I want to cover on Wizard's Vault. Shockingly, it is taking me a couple minutes longer to loot enemies than I had expected. I almost could have got the material gathering faster.
Feel the fury.
Oh, this is a veteran too. So I guess you're not going to get to see me do it unless you just, well, man, we're super close. There, that's 9. We'll take a minute. We'll do one more. And then we'll wrap up the video. I've said everything I need to say. It's not a super complicated concept. What? Yeah, not a super complicated concept, but wanted to at least take a moment to like vaguely address it. That way, there's no confusion about what Wizard's Vault is. And I feel, so if I had done this in a starter zone, it probably would have been a little faster. I recommend that oftentimes you do things like that in starter zones. You will see, particular to killing a certain type of enemy, kill 100 Inquest enemies or pirates. So Inquest or pirates, starter zones where there are a lot of Inquest and pirates, like Metrica Province, particularly right when dailies are almost done for the week, or weeklies are almost done, I mean, you're going to see those flooded with people killing like level 6 Inquest, because They're rushing to get those dailies done. Anyway, minor annoyance. That's why you don't wait till the end of the week to do your weeklies. Okay, so there you go. It took a second longer than I thought, but we managed to rack up 20 astral acclaim today. And when this video's done, I'm going to go back, grab a few resources, and get my daily chest, which also includes a gold. So, sure, I'll take that. Why not? Alright, thank you for hanging out with me. Hopefully this is helpful for one or two people. I imagine most folks, though, are pretty familiar with the Wizard's Vault. But if it did help you, awesome. I'm glad, and I hope you're enjoying Guild Wars 2. You have a good one. Thank you.